Without a doubt, two of the most popular trucks that have graced our presence this year have to be the Ford Maverick and obviously the Ford F-150 Lightning. You could sprinkle on the Rivian R1T that really shook some things up this year, but if we narrow it in a little more, let's just talk about the Maverick and the Lightning. And what could be even better is, well, let's put them together, an electric Maverick, and that seems to be what we're getting images of. It's really cool. So we're going to peek into why that would be so important. We're also going to dive into another leaked truck that should be maybe coming to the US, but definitely coming overseas, and it's really sparking some interest, and I'll kind of dive into why here. So let's get into it. But before I do that, I'm going to do my little spiel here where I say, hey, whether you're new to this channel or if you pop in from time to time, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. That's all I'll say. It would help the channel. It really helps me get more access to vehicles to do reviews. It helps me get sponsorships to do product reviews. So all that stuff really adds up. So if you would subscribe, I would say thank you very much. Let's move on. So you're saying, Larry, you said electric Maverick. Well, we don't have a solid lead that there is an electric Maverick around the corner. However, there is a plug-in hybrid Maverick. And personally, I think that's even better. And here's why. Let's look at the Lightning just for a little bit. If you look at any, EV haters, people who don't like the Lightning, they have to argue why don't they like it, right? And it always comes down to towing. It comes down to things that, well, EVs just aren't good at. And while Lightning can very powerfully tow, the range seems to be an issue, but a predicted issue. We saw it in the R1T, and we kind of knew what was going to happen. But that being said, the solution to get the best of both worlds, it really comes down to a plug-in hybrid. So if you're new to a plug-in hybrid, it is a different from a traditional hybrid, meaning that the battery's a lot bigger. And in fact, some of them can go up to 30 miles without ever using the gas tank. So something like that gives you some of the torque that you like in an electric vehicle. It gets you the gas savings you like in an electric vehicle, but you still have the range because you have that reserve gas. So it's the best of both worlds, in my opinion. And while we're on the subject, another thing I hear from EV never in my life guys, it's always, would the grid be able to handle if everyone goes electric, the grid would go down, and things like that. You've probably heard that argument tons of time. And I always point back to, well, when all these companies say they'll be fully electric in 2027 or 2030, it's what these companies have been saying. Plug-in hybrids count. Even regular hybrids count. And these things are probably going to be the main thing that people will drive. I love plug-in hybrids. I think they're the smartest vehicle you could own because you save so much on gas. You help with the environment a ton, but you still have reliability. You don't have range anxiety because you have electric and you have gas. You could charge once a day and barely tap into $4 or something for some of these battery sizes. They're all, for reference, the average plug-in hybrid, it probably has like a 15 to maybe 17 kilowatt hour battery compared to the average on some of these trucks are in like the 150s. So very small batteries that still are very efficient and help you out. So I love plug-in hybrids. Enough of that rambling. That's why I think that this Maverick plug-in hybrid that we're seeing pictures of right here could be one of the best vehicles to ever come out. So what would the change between the current Maverick and this Maverick be? Let's just talk battery for a second. And the current hybrid Maverick only has a 1 kilowatt hour battery, so 15 times bigger of a battery. And think about that. That's that much more you'll save on gas. You'll actually get some more power probably too. Some of these plug-in hybrids, obviously we don't know these stats yet, but they have a decent amount of torque and horsepower with them. So it's really cool to see that you're going to be able to use this Maverick for so much more. And the success of this probably means a plug-in hybrid Ranger, and those two are got a nice size in my opinion, and it's just efficient, and it checks the boxes for futurists, I guess, people who realize they probably don't need a full-size pickup but still need the functionality of the truck. Hey, that's me. I've admitted that 1,000 times. I want the functionality of the truck, but I'm not a hardcore truck guy. I think I could even get away with something like a plug-in Maverick. So this is why I'm really excited about this. Now, the one downside is this would set to probably bump the price up a little bit. Now, that is kind of a trade-off, right? Because you'll probably save a lot in gas and get more functionalities. But a lot of people are drawn to the Maverick because it's only, what, 19K, 21K it starts at. So that would probably bump it up a good 5 to 10K more. But again, I would pay that all day long for the functionality of a plug-in hybrid truck. It seems perfect. You know, I guess if I'm being honest, I'd probably maybe look at a plug-in hybrid Ranger before a Maverick, but both are really exciting in my opinion. So we'll keep our eyes on that here on this channel. Please stay subscribed if you want to learn more. I love it. I think it. If you haven't got that from how many times I said I love it, I love it. You know, actually, even ever since I did my review of the Maverick, which I'll have linked below, I had so many doubts about it, but the second I sat behind that steering wheel, I was like, I think I like the Maverick. I like it. It's cool. I might even look for one until I get my Lightning. We'll see on that. Now let's flip to the other end. Let's totally take gas out of the equation and look at this leaked car from Geely. Now they are the parent company of Volkswagen, Polestar, so they have a strong background in electrification. And they've just released these images of a possible new pickup truck. And it is set to be released even later this month on what they call their C platform. SEA, not the letter C. And it should look familiar because to me, it's got that same unibody design and looks just like the Maverick we were talking about. However, this is fully electric, and man, does it look good. It's also taking a lot of inspiration from the Lightning, people are saying. It's got the full hookup in the back for charging whatever you need or running your small power site. So it really is looking like it could be a contender. And in fact, you would assume because it's coming from someone like Polestar and Volkswagen, assuming it comes to the States, it would probably be under the Polestar or Volkswagen brand name, and it would probably come in at a very competitive price. Now, that is all speculation because we only have leaks now, but based on what I've been reading, it would probably be enough to really fight the R1T's audience. And I think that same goes for the Maverick I just mentioned, because the R1T is only a little bit bigger than the Maverick and probably really close inside to this radar we're looking at. And it could be a real good move on Volkswagen, Polestar. We'll just keep saying that because we don't know where it would appear in the US under. It really could steal a lot of the R1T's audience, and that's what makes me so excited. And again, I really love that midsize electric truck, especially because I think it boosts range in the long run too. When you have this big full-size pickup like the Lightning, you have that much more of a vehicle you need to haul around, and that's heavy and it's hard. So you either need to add more battery capacity or you need to take a range hit. And this means this one can probably have a smaller battery and come in at a smaller price and still have a similar range to something like the Lightning or the R1T. I think it's really cool. It really piques my interest. Maybe some of these marketing images of the guys in their bikes hauling behind it, maybe it's just speaking to me because I am so into bikes and stuff, but it's working. I'm interested. You got my attention. Now, I really just need to see it in the US is all. So fingers crossed on that. Did I say Volkswagen? I meant to say Volvo. Very, very similar in my opinion. I always mix them up. But speaking of Volkswagen, they're in here too. We're going to have so many midsize EVs within the next 4 or 5 years that I don't know. I'm very excited about that because that is the sweet spot for me. This is actually old news, but it's worth talking about because I never really brought it up on my channel. But Volkswagen said that they're revitalizing their old brand, their kind of adventure outdoorsy vehicle brand called Scout. And it is their off-road tier that they are shifting to their EV label. And this is exciting too because when they do this, they're going to have some cool functionality, like probably being able to sell direct to consumer. And if you look at these sketches that I have on the screen now, do they have Rivian in their sights or what? I think Rivian is doing so well right now, and people are seeing that. And it scares me for Rivian because when these big guys are coming in and now just going to copy what they're doing, they're going to be able to do it at a more affordable price, and it's really going to give Rivian a run for their money. So I hope Rivian's tech can help them stay apart, and maybe they can get their production numbers up because other than that, I mean, if they can't do that, something like the Scout brand could gobble them up in as little as 2 years. So I love Rivian. Don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to look at both sides here. But anyway, let's keep an eye out for this. This isn't till 2026. And again, by then, Rivian could totally be punching with both fingers. Punching with both fingers? I need to quit doing YouTube videos. What was that expression even supposed to be? Doing well. I don't know. But anyways, that's all we got. I think it's the time that we are shifting our vision onto some of these midsize EVs and PHEVs. I'm excited about it, and I hope you guys are too. Stay tuned on the channel for all the EV truck news that you could dream of. I've actually been sick the last week, and I'm moving, so I do apologize for the lack of uploads on this channel, but I do promise I'm not going anywhere, even though I say things like punch with 2 fingers. All right. Bye.